Hi everyone, welcome back to the Web3 channel. My name is Zach. In this video, we're looking at Nintendo getting into NFTs. We're going to go through everything happening in the Web3 space, of course, and Metaverse or news is definitely something we cover. With that being said, let's have a look at what's going on here. The developer of Super Mario and Pokemon franchises cares more about providing a good experience for its players than winning a console race, as we see the headline being that they're considering ways to utilize NFTs in a way that doesn't diminish joy. So let's go through what this means exactly, because it's definitely an interesting headline. Now, after releasing its latest financial report, Nintendo held a live QA where they reportedly expressed interest in the potential of the Metaverse when it comes to introducing blockchain and NFT technology into their video games. David Gibson, senior analyst at MST Financial, asked in a tweet what the Japanese gaming giant thought about the Metaverse and NFTs, and they confirmed that they are currently not working on anything, but are still defining what they could offer gamers. Looking at the series of tweets right here, we see a series of tweets right here, but what we're going to do actually is look at the specific tweet thread itself and go through it. So what we see here is Nintendo results call highlights. Are new users buying all the titles? What is the trend? In the last financial year of the first party volumes, around 60% was catalog. In Q3 it was 50%. Want to release titles that suit each type of user this year and into next year. How does Q4 RCS Kirby impact for Q4 guidance for 23 million hardware goal? We have plenty of procurement but do not have visibility for logistics and especially overseas. Software guidance not really changed for Q4 and depends on how titles go. Continuing on, we have other stuff that doesn't really necessarily go into the Metaverse stuff. Demand and supply. Recently, before holiday, we felt that we met demand with supply, but from November we saw a shortage and not enough OLED in the particular. This shortage has continued into December and January. Looking at other things as well, 98 million players playing users. How does that compare to Wii? It is an important KPI and we find it meaningful, plus other KPIs, but versus Wii, the functions of Switch are very different, so comparison is not meaningful. How think about the 98 million versus next console into 6th year of Switch, and we are maintaining momentum. We are looking at how to expand and grow this 100 million users leading into the next gen device. Sounds like next device will be backwards compatible. How do you think about Metaverse and NFT? We do have interest in this area. We feel the potential in this area, but we wonder what joy we can provide in this area, and this is difficult to define right now. And then we have more information, not really necessarily going into the Web3 step, although one interesting one that will definitely over time branch into Web3, I guess, is how do we think of mobile business right now? Five titles we operate enables IP characters to reach worldwide users, including new users, which they think is meaningful. It is extremely important that we do not damage the affinity users have for the IP, and I think it's very fair to say that realistically, when it comes down to gaming monetization, IP is where the monetization really stems from. So when it comes to NFT specifically, that really is where things are monetized, right? Where can we see, of course, certain, for example, NFTs of certain characters in certain gameplay experiences, etc. Because people want to see Mario, right? It's notable that Nintendo's main concern is what joy we can provide to players and fans. They are clearly being cautious about any potential intro of NFTs or integrated within the Metaverse. These words from the makers of the Pokémon and Zelda franchises come at a time when other major video game companies and consoles are experimenting with blockchain gaming. It's also worth noting that the makers of Pokémon specifically, the person who brought Pokemon over from Japan into the West, essentially, Alfred Kahn, he is the licensing director for a company called Ecomi that actually makes VV NFTs. VV NFTs, you can see the logo up there. I do make videos on that as well on a different channel, but either way, Pokemon is definitely an interesting and very sought after IP when it comes to VV NFTs. VV already has Disney IPs with Marvel, Lucasfilm. We also have DreamWorks, etc. When I say we, I like the project, but I am not involved in it. So far, Ubisoft has developed an NFT platform called Ubisoft Quartz, and Konami, the maker of Castlevania, released its own NFT collection. Meanwhile, Microsoft acquired ABK for $69 billion and confirmed that Xbox will work on the development on Metaverse platforms. Ubisoft's introduction of Quartz and Digit, however, has been met with considerable backlash, and recently the executive Nicolas Poirot suggested that gamers may not fully understand the benefits of NFTs, which we'll have a look at. But first, reading on, during the financial briefing, Nintendo announced a 2.5% profit loss for the 9 months through December as shortages, etc. Let's have a look though at what's going on with Ubisoft, because I think this also very much ties in with the whole gaming metaverse thing, and mainly with gaming from already built up legacy AAA studios. Ubisoft executive response to the backlash over new NFT platform. Players took offense to the suggestion that gamers may not yet fully understand the benefits of NFTs without actually understanding the benefits of NFTs. Massive surprise there. VP at Ubisoft's Strategic Innovations Lab commented on the negative gamer feedback that Ubisoft received after Quartz and Digits in an interview. Now, I will say that honestly, from a personal perspective, looking at Quartz, and I think I made a video either on here or my other channel about the fact that in fairness, I didn't actually explain to the common gamer, in fact, the common general person overall, why NFTs may be beneficial or why blockchain technology may be beneficial. They spoke about ownership. No one in the gaming space, or not at least many people in the gaming space, care about ownership. They just don't. It's a reaction we are accustomed to. I think it's great because it shows how engaged our players are and how passionate they are about the hobby and gaming in general. And looking at that, I think it's reassuring. In the interview, he goes on to clarify that Quartz and Digits are a matter of personal choice for players who at no point will be forced to use them. In their explanation of Ubisoft's motivations, however, some readers clung on to one phrase: I think gamers don't get what a digital secondary market can bring to them. The idea that players may not get it for now was not taken very lightly. And I'm guessing that this article right here is from a name, Luke Plunkett, one of the worst journalists on Kotaku, period. Well, if you just don't get it, you shouldn't you avoid it? After all, aren't you doing this for consumers? I remember the time when Ubisoft was one of the best places to play, etc. And another person who, we're not going to go into it, we already know, some was simply not interested. And so essentially, we do have a lot of people who, have a lot against something that they have absolutely no understanding of. There is also a sentiment around gamers having true ownership of not just a skin or a weapon, but of characters and storylines. If players can become active contributors to a gaming ecosystem, then it could be possible for them to have ownership over the games themselves. Ubisoft recently partnered with startup Aleph.im, which will provide a decentralized storage solution for Ubisoft Quartz. The gaming giant plans to continue integrating Digits. The real issue here is mainly PR, and they did terribly here, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that I want it to go badly. I want it to do well. I want everyone in the space to do well, because we can all make it in some way, shape, or form. But Ubisoft didn't do this well, and by telling people that they're not doing it well or not understanding is not going to help. My personal opinion, and it's not financial advice, not that it really could be poured into financial advice in either way, is put out a product that people want, that they know they want, and you don't have to go over the fact that it's NFTs. I mean, say it, put it down, say, this is a blockchain technology thing, but don't make the interesting factor about it that it's an NFT. When people don't like what NFT stands for, marketing it as that and only that without actually going over what the solution is, what it provides to players, it's not going to work out. That being said, this is the Web3 channel covering everything happening in the Web3 space. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. If this video was interesting or helpful, a like so much appreciated. This is the Web3 channel covering everything happening from crypto, NFT, and Metaverse news. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you in the next Web3 video.